MVP started off strong, but it wasn't meant to be. It was their map pick of Mirage, and sadly they faltered because a very strong ViCi Gaming came out to play. I'm joined by Blair and Pimp once again, and it's time for us to break down the madness that is the decision-making that MVP had this. We spoke about it in the veto. There should have been a plan behind it, but it certainly didn't look so. Or was it just ViCi completely outskilling him?
I think ViCi were outskilling them. I think there was quite a difference between the two teams in terms of raw skill, so to speak.
Yep.
You have guys like Casey, you have Freeman, top fragging, plus 14, plus 10, respectively. You know, that's some big scorelines coming in there. Whereas you, for MVP, don't really have anyone standing out in that regard. Yeah. We talked about it. We don't have that clear star player from MVP that is able to take over a game and sort of set the pace and take charge over things. Also, the B-bomb side defense from MVP on that CT side was absolutely horrible. I do not want to point out any player specifically, but Seth did not do a good job at holding that short area, and definitely not did a good job at helping Glow on the B-bomb side itself. I think I counted 5 or 6 rounds lost on that bomb side, including a full anti-eco pistol round from the ViCi Gaming guys. So in that regard, MVP, I feel I'm repeating myself from yesterday. They actually look decent. They have good fundamentals, but when it comes to delivering on the server, when the frags need to be put down, so to speak, they're simply just not good enough right now. And again, as yesterday, they could have won this map had they not made those silly mistakes and had they had a little bit more edge, you know, in that regard.
And I certainly feel like when the pressure's put on them, when they start feeling it a bit more, right, where you just saw ViCi come alive, they just kind of fell back. They lost their confidence. They lost their swagger a little bit.
Yeah, indeed. That's the thing with MVP, right? They seem to have the right idea. They seem to have a plan in mind when it comes to execution. Like you mentioned, Pim, just fell apart. Again, the two usual suspects we had of course, you know, we had Kaze and we had Freeman. I spoke about these two guys. These guys are the star players, and they stood up. Like the first half was just them going ham. And again, MVP, that's the thing. I saw a couple of very cool things from them, a couple of nice executes, but then it kind of fell flat when it came to execution. They were kind of doubting themselves. Like you said, the B bomb side hole was atrocious, to be very honest. And at one point, it felt like they're playing a little too scared, and that's how ViCi were able to close it out.
Lack of firepower, lack of consistency, lack of, you know, actually having the players needed to deliver the frags on the server. I think that's safe to say. ViCi Gaming individually is just much better.
Well, we got a round that you picked out here, Blair, haven't we? The round 3, I believe, which is one of the executes that MVP was getting ready for.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool thing. When I saw this, they were leading 2-0. Just check this out, right? Zeta has a smoke in hand. He's going to toss it towards the B bomb side. 3 guys barreling towards B apartments, right? And you can see the smoke blooming in the side. It's a pretty nifty smoke right there. And if you take a look at the minimap as well, the second a Molotov comes in, and that is Zine selling this fake. You can see the other 2 players making their way towards underpass, and you see the minimap. Look at the rotation. 3 guys already at B. Advent and Zeta, there's no one at the A bomb side. MVP literally have a free side. We have Zeph boosting solo towards jungle. They have control of jungle as well. They get the kill, but this is where MVP fall apart, because when you are committing yourself to that particular fake, you take that A bomb side real quickly. They dilly-dally, they waited. Look at how long it takes for them to make their way to the A bomb side. I know they're waiting to gather up, but if you're going to go for a fast-paced fake like that, and you want to play a reactive style of CS, because they fell for it. ViCi had 3 players over there, 1 player towards the CD side. That A side was free for the taking. Instead, they came in too late, and by that time, the B bomb side guys had come over to A, they retook it, and they won, keeping 4 players alive. So that's the thing. Great ideas. Great initial execution, and then the mid-round calling, or like, they don't know what to do after that. It's the classic case of a dog chasing a car. They catch the car and like, okay, woof, what do I do now?
I love that analogy. Now, one thing on that, right, is that where it comes into play on the lack of confidence we were just speaking about, because they got there, they could have pushed into it, and they maybe just felt, well, we're just going to wait around for too long now, because it just looked like they were waiting for the rotation to come in.
So that's the thing, right? When it comes to these sort of plays, so to speak, you might have a game plan in mind, but you also need to understand when things change, you need to adapt on the fly. You need to have that quick mid-round calling, and that was I really felt that was lacking for them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, as you said, great execution, great idea behind that strat. I'm sure a lot of teams, you know, if they saw this, they would probably copy some of that, because it works out pretty well. There's many aspects to this one as well. The fact that you have 3 guys going towards B and faking the sound as well towards B is probably what's selling the entire thing. So lots of good stuff there from MVP, but as you said, the execution and the lack of mid-ground calling is the problem, right? As soon as Solo get their kills, it's actually fair enough to slow down, because he's in a position where he can gain a lot of information. The problem of the matter is they don't act off that information. They don't do anything proactive in that regard. So I understand why they're slowing down. I understand that thought process, even though you could have argued for them just going into the A-bomb side, but they couldn't necessarily know whether there'll be 1 or 2 guys there, so that's all guessing. But the fact that they're slowing down, actually, again, you know, it showcases the great fundamentals and the great understanding of the game, but the fact that they're not proactive enough, the fact they don't have the individual players to close out around like that. Basically, what they need is a guy like Valde from North, for example. When you have a 3 versus 3 scenario, 4 versus 4 scenario, he's always going to close it out for you. He's always going to get 1 or 2 kills and make it in your own favor. MVP don't have that right now.
Now, we're going on the train real quick, guys. Do you think they're going to be able to turn this around, or is this going to be a 2-0 now for ViCi? Because Kaze, in particular, a map like Train, he's going to be so crazy on.
The big problem here right now is, like we said, these map picks are high-risk picks coming in from MVP, right? They needed to win Mirage. They kind of fell flat there. They showed some promise here and there. Train, ViCi picking it, and the way they're hitting the shots right now, the way they're looking so hot right now, I kind of feel it might actually be ViCi taking this 2-0.
Somebody needs to step up from MVP. If they don't, it's going to be over.
High risk, high reward. The question is, who's going to take that reward? ViCi Gaming are in the lead as we move into Train. Can MVP bounce back? We're going over to the Goonies, the guys with more energy than life itself, more energy than an Energizer Bunny. It's Hugo and Harry.
Thank you very much, Shane. You've really sold the energetic, the fact that we're ready to go, we're primed. I hope that I'm not the most energetic guy he knows, because I'm pretty lazy. But, we're taking a look at this now. ViCi sitting 1-0 up in this series. Spam this Peachy to help ViCi.
They don't need your help, Harry. They got Kaze and Freeman. They're doing just fine here. So let's see if they can close out this in a 2-0, or if MVP can bounce back, split maps, opposing map picks as well. But we did talk about how these Vitas were crazy anyway. They're so unexpected. So many surprise picks from both sides, really. With this not being Inferno, the previous not being Dust 2, all thrown into a whirlwind. And let's see if we can... Well, I don't even know where I was going with that one, but it's fine. Pistol round for ViCi. We got utility on this T side, and Glow's got the kit smoke on the CT side as well, playing for that retake on B. Pretty common to see. Quad stack up on A right now, and ViCi establishing early presence to deny aggression from the MVP side in the B halls. Advent, that's a connector smoke he was setting up. Maybe fearful, but something's happening down Ivy, but he's not going to see anything. Zeta's just holding passive. So with this con smoke now, we're going to see the bomb come through T-Con. These players come through Pop Dog, and you couldn't easily run along the wall next to the bomb train if you're Orman here with that smoke down towards connector and not get Y peak. We'll see where ViCi decide to go, though, as push begins to come through. Oh, they blocked the connector smoke.
And that's big, and actually... does free up a bit more room for these rotations. Solo in with one. Zoking and Freeman quick to try and reclaim that man advantage, but Zeph able to get the trade. ViCi now changing their minds. Back towards B they go. They leave Kaze here to try and sell this fake, and Zayn caught out in the open. Kaze doing a great job of keeping these players here. He can call that he's got both of them locked down. And now, oh, Kaze, he's waiting. He's waiting all right, and now he's flanking round from behind. Slowly but surely, through connector, he will go. Creeping on forward, Glow does have a kit, and actually could look to get on that bomb. They've found the first man. Orman, knife out, knives down Glow, and ViCi taking the pistol round here.
Just setups like that from ViCi show how prepared they are coming into this game, though. That's a really nice execute. You close off a lot of line of sights of MVP. Yeah, okay, you go 2-2 and then that rotate. It might not have even been the original plan, but it's a great mid-round call if it wasn't. That B-side getting freed up, and if anything, the connector smoke getting blocked comes back to haunt MVP because it just tempts them into rotating Glow off of that B-bomb site. Either way, 1-0 now for ViCi, and they've got guns. Force by coming in from MVP, it makes sense. You want that AWP in the 4th round. You'd rather give it a go with pistols as well. So many close positions on this map, and that scout can be lethal, but already one of them getting picked off. Good trade from Zeta. Keeps it in the 4-on-4, and no one there to retrieve that main up in that gun up in main. At least for the T side, because you want to get it out of the action. But now if MVP rotate, they might be able to go for it. In the meantime, this push is coming into B. Zeta's just going to miss the players coming out upper, and Glow's been decapitated. So Zeta spots ahead. Oh, he's not going to connect it, though. And ViCi are on the bomb site, finding kills every second. Zeta's eventually dropped, and Zayn, he might even just run back and try and grab this AK from T-Con, but you can already see Advent. He's going for it exactly that. He does not want this gun to be taken. And ViCi, regardless of the outcome here, they're going to be at a 2-0. The Easter egg hunt won by Advent.
I mean, you know, it was just Easter. Now it's looking like Christmas for ViCi because they're going to be gifted this 3rd round on the back of the decision to go for that investment there from MVP. You understand why they go for it, of course. You know, I think we've seen that these 4 spy rounds from either one of these two teams has had a good tendency to upset in the past. And on top of that, it does facilitate you now getting the AWPs out in round number 4. Zoking actually going to go to take a nade early on. He's brought down to just 2 HP, so a chance to find a bit more damage here for MVP. For me, I do really think that the AWP is going to make a big difference to MVP on this map. You know, you think about Mirage, think about that 1v3 clutch from ViCi with the AWP. That was the thing that almost got them back into the game, right? And even if you think back to yesterday in their matchup versus Renegades, he really was one of the players we were looking towards.
On the flip side here, I think another big factor is the fact that Orman started off this game 5-1. He's looking great. Now, obviously, only eco kills there, but 3 of them, bit of a confidence booster. And when we've already had Freeman and Kaze going off on that previous map, dropping over 50 kills combined, adding Orman to the mix is certainly a terrifying prospect for MVP. So here's where they can try and keep things alive. 3-0. The AWP is here for Zeta. There's none yet for the T side. They just want to keep up this faster pace. And the MVP, how will they have a response to this? F's up towards the B halls. We've got a triple setup down on this site. 2 on ramp with the AWP, a bait setup. This Glow just waits for the flashbang. ViCi, creepy crawly in. They don't know what's about to hit them. Oh, bait shot missed. Glow turns around, he finds one. And the AWP continues to rain dominance down on this B site. Zeta picking up a double, shutting down this push. Now the Ivy flank is already here for Orman, and he will push through that smoke. Big play potentially, but do they realize?
Oh, Advent. Ah! Okay, he's able to get it. It's all good. Everything's fine. But it's only 1 kill. Oh, is there a screech? And now he's in a 1v3. You don't fancy his odds here.
That was guttural. Where did that come from?
Honestly, I don't know. There's a lot of pent-up stress and...
chilies.
And chilies, yeah. Solo's on this wrap round. And there you go, that's a real spicy one from him. MVP 1 and 3, as they do find their first round on CT side of this map.
ViCi obviously still have the money to buy, but great round from Zeta on the AWP. As you say in the previous, he needs to step up. We need him in this map, and he finds 3 kills in that round. So first rifle round MVP have picked up this map. Long may it continue, as now we've got to see this AWP battle. Kaze's on his.
Crucially as well for MVP, they keep it pretty clean, and that's something we never really got to see them do back on Mirage. If you recall, you know, it was always their economy being down in the dumps, and it never really facilitated having these AWPs. Now this time, they've already dispatched of Kaze. Zine having a great time down here towards this Ivy portion of the map, just goes peeking down Olaf and is allowed to mop up another man. So, oh. Hey, it's just falling apart for ViCi in this round.
We've just had 5 1v1s with no utility usage. Now, some of it obviously not ViCi's fault, right? The first couple of pushes, Zeph wallbanged the AWP and Pop Dog. One guy got caught pushing Olaf, which is pretty normal. But then we just had these other guys just sneak out through T-Con. Like, yeah, that's not going to work. You're in a 3-on-5. You're going to lose. So, a bit more of a puggy round for ViCi there. It's probably the excuse we'll give them. And right now, MVP, that's a great round. Clean, concise, flawless.
And this was the problem with ViCi Gaming just yesterday, right? You remember, Mirage, they played some downright fantastic CS. The strategies were there. Things were looking pitch perfect. Players are playing off of one another. It's like all the pieces, all the cogs in this machine were working perfectly. And then you take them out of Mirage, and it's like a fish out of water. They do suddenly revert from being this team that are setting each other up, playing like some great tactics, you know, some great mid-round calls, some fantastic decision-making, to a very puggy style team. And that's exactly what we saw, you know, prove to be their demise just yesterday.
And that was on Inferno, the 3rd map of this series. So if they do lose Train here, we go to a map that they've already proven that they can lose when in advantageous situations. Not a perfect map for ViCi, and one that MVP really made their run on in the past, even against European competition.
Yeah, but start me, they got 16-5'd on it yesterday, if you remember, with a 14-1 half for Renegades. So I certainly wouldn't want to rely on that as my, you know, ace in the hole if I'm ViCi.
I try not to remember that, Harry.
More of just a hole in the hole. Then what have you got?
A hole.
Bigger hole. Fighting fire with fire.
That never really works, does it? Oh, Molotov does force Zep.
No, obviously not.
Well, actually, they do use fire to stop forest fires. So they burn, they
yeah, control burns. Yeah, I know.
I think we've had this conversation.
We actually have. Yeah.
All right, Ivy play for ViCi with the bomb. Triple T-Con push here. But look at the positions. I mean, this setup from MVP is very strong to deal with it. 2 players in the pop dog with no pop flank from ViCi. The issue is MVP don't know because they just got mollied out, but they don't care. They're going to take the fight 2-1 early on. Zeta turns around to watch Ivy as this T-Con push slows right down. And with the bomb here, if they don't smoke the right side, they're going to be in for a world of hurt. He's waiting for that green train wrap as well. It's actually going to be closer than he assumes. So Freeman coming around this corner could find the kill if the barrel sticks wide. Freeman's wrapped, and they don't seem to realize. I think these Ivy players are waiting on his contact, and he's dropped that AWP. Knows there's a second man here, sees the barrel as well, and now his team can start to move in as he finds kills left, right, center. AWP trying to drop the bomb, won't be able to for now. The plant is in for ViCi, and they're a man up.
Close on this wrap round and might be able to find something because Orman and Kazi, while they are both positioned inside of the bomb site, not quite able to play off of one another, but Glow has immediately been dispatched of, and that was really the only hope for MVP in that round, was if that flank yielded something. Solo now just going to back away, try and hold on to the AWP. ViCi able to recover the AWP over on Kaze. I'll take that with him into the next round.
4-2 now. This is a good start to the T side of, obviously a very CT-sided map. And the money getting broken here of MVP. The AWP save is huge. Zeta's going to be able to pull that into this round, but last buy round here from MVP. Before they get put down to pistols once again, if ViCi can keep this up. Certainly looking to be the case. ViCi going quickly into these halls as well, maybe going for a faster B approach in this round. And they do have the AWP, but Solo, he's got a secondary one. He goes aggressive, caught by the watch of Kaze. And now it is going to be ViCi sitting a man up in this round, a crucial one as mentioned. MVP not going to be able to retrieve that AWP either because it's deep behind enemy territory now as these Ts have gained control. Zion going to try and push the Ivy smoke to sit in the corner. Now with these Ts and the bomb grouping down on B, it's looking like the full execute. Good off angle from Glow, but how much can he really get done here?
Well, let's see as the smokes and flashes rain into this B bomb site. Glow, he's flashed off. I mean, I admire the confidence to stay up there. Hidden in plain sight isn't exactly something that works all too well in Counter-Strike terms. And for MVP, they've just got to back away. All of that really depending on if Glow is able to find anything. You know, even a 1-for-1 might have enticed you to go for it if you're MVP. But the fact he goes down and finds absolutely nothing seals their fate in this round. 3 players looking to try and hold on to these weapons for MVP. I don't think he intended to stay up there. At least I hope not. I think he was trying to fall down, but was flashed and didn't want to let go. I mean, I'm making excuses for it. I don't know the ins and outs, so...
I think one scary thing as well, Harry, is if we remember back to yesterday where ViCi, they did lose to Renegades on this map, but they had on that CT side, if you think back to their retaking, it was phenomenal.
Yes,
the amount of rounds
very true.
they were retaking with a man down was actually unreal, and a lot of that off the back of the AWP play as well. So
yeah, they managed to get it was
2v5.
It started with a 2v3, okay. Then there was the 2v5 in the following round.
Yeah.
Then we had like a 1v2 in the round after that. They felt right at home over on the CT side. The fact they're already sitting 5-2 up and taking control of the economy in this game is a worrying sign if you are an MVP fan. Let's not forget, by the way, for those of you who are just tuning in, the loser of this, they are gone. They're going home, and it's a long way back there for either one of these teams. None of them wanting to leave empty-handed. Winner of this is at least guaranteed their spot as well in that third place minor playoff. So this is a very important game right now. And MVP finding themselves on the back foot. ViCi setting himself up inside of this B bomb site to keep an eye on the upper play. Glow holding close to the ramp, and this is the right call to make. Zeph pushing over into Pop Dog, and the aggression from Solo over here in main does mean these rotations come through very, very quickly, but we need to see something from Glow and ViCi. If MVP want any chance in this round, flash down the ramp. ViCi haven't committed just yet. 2 players out from upper, both going to get dropped by the AWP. But now Solo on this wrap round. He hears the players heading back to the A bomb side. MVP, they might beat ViCi there.
Yeah, but Avon's found the entry kill. Zeph gets caught in the connector. However, this flank is about to pay dividends. Caught out Kaze, no gun in hand. Down a man now are ViCi, and the bomb site planted. Avon going to have to move away. He does catch himself to Olaf before this AWP gets in position, and Zeta just misses the timing. Going to flash his team back into this one, but Orman with his back turned is going to be ready for the engagement. The issue is Glow finding the kill up close. Advent now in the clutch, and they know where he is. They can just stick that bomb as well. He's got a long way to run, and he's got to try and get this man off it, but he doesn't know that they're on the full defuse. Zeta holding down the line, and surely not. Zeta with a wide peak, saving MVP there. And Advent, he almost dropped Glow. He almost stopped that defuse, but almost is not a round win. It's MVP picking up another one on the CT side. Such an important round for them with that double AWP. Oh, sorry, single AWP, because it was Solo with the SMG this time, but still a massive round and huge aggression from the CT side. Big flanks as well, so well, it looked very, very desperate for ViCi. They made a recovery out of it. They at least got that bomb down and took plenty of kills. But 5-3 now, another rifle round for the boat.
ViCi do seem to have an affinity with this B bomb site. Come back towards this portion of the map. The issue they're going to have is every time they've been doing this, Solo has just been allowed to go on these little journeys, his map in hand, and he's spotted all this information. You can see they've fully rotated 4 players around, and this is all on the back of Solo. ViCi not maintaining map control early on, not holding a default. Instead, they have just been dedicating themselves over towards B. This is the 3rd round in a row we've seen them do it. Freeman, this time able to open up, but Zine, oh, he's shut down 2, and that's the bomb drop. They are able to trade him and Kaze in with another. It's Zeta and Solo, the 2 top performers for MVP, the 2 players you would want in this situation left standing. There is still hope, and Zeta, he's going to try and take the fight. He's actually pushed up onto the bomb train, down past Oil, bypassing Freeman. And now he's in the back line, caught with the bomb out. That's Orman down and into the 1v1. Freeman on Zeta, clash of the Titans. The 2 big boys of either team, and Zeta's going to close it out, wins the clutch. A 1v2 from him. Balls of steel to go for that play, to push into the bomb site, armed with only a USP.
That was a huge call from him. I mean, they were already a man down, right? It looks like Zine has won the round single-handedly, especially with that quad B setup, but with Freeman and Kaze both going huge in that round. Freeman with 3, it's just not enough. Zeta gets close up and drops that bomb, and now MVP continue to go strong on the CT side. A strong start for ViCi, tapering off. This is like Mirage all over again, at least for the first half. Fast play out through T-Con. Zoking's gone immediately down through Olaf. Now, Zine is here on Ivy as well, but they won't be ready for it, and he finds both kills. Zoking's got to do something huge, and he is behind enemy lines, but Freeman's just found a double entry from the Pop Dog. Zoking behind, and they still haven't realized this, but he can catch that connector play. He does see Glow off guard, and the second man on the site as well, not going to have his wits about him. Zeta going down, and now it's Zine looking for the ace to save this one. 3 kills already. Dink is there, and Zoking will finish off the fight. Massive round from Zoking. The fast flank through Olaf, and even fully blinded by his own teammates, those CTs do not realize that he was behind them. As well as those entries from Freeman. Ridiculous stuff.
I mean, this is the thing about ViCi. You do just have that individual star power within this team just to pop off, find those openers. Freeman going above and beyond in that round there. And one of the important things I think it is worth mentioning as well, Kaze, the man who back on Mirage looks so dominant alongside Freeman. not exploding into this game in that same sense. And, you know, Train, I imagine, would have been where we saw that, right? Obviously,
yeah.
T side, right? So you understand, maybe moving into the CT side, that's where we're going to see a bit more out of him. The point I was making is even with one of the usual suspects who we could expect to see fielding massive numbers, not exploding into this matchup, you've got that individual prowess on Freeman to make up for it. These two really do just juggle that star role between them.
Oh, we're watching the players. There we go, thank you.
Just wanted to see, though.
Yeah.
It's nice to see how they deal with the stress of a anti-eco round.
Oh, Freeman.
Not if you're Freeman, you're just never stressed.
I mean, I wouldn't say...
Nothing goes wrong.
I wouldn't say Kaze's, you know, he's had a slow start to this game. I wouldn't say it's a problem, though. In terms of the AWPing battles, he's been just fine. He's not had it that many times anyway. ViCi just been running a lot of these fast rifle rounds, and Freeman and Zoking have been the men behind it. Zine, oh dear, he's looking for 3! Oh, what? The bomb will take him down, but that is some serious economical damage. Look at the money over on the side of ViCi. They can buy up, but they have nothing left in the reserves.
That's actually massive, because also, I was going to say, it calls into question whether they're going to bring that AWP out on Kaze. Now, they make the decision to do so, but you're dead on, Hugo. This is something that could cause them some real problems now looking to the future. That could be a means for MVP to try and get back into this game, but they actually go for the double eco here over on that CT side. I was going to say, surely not again. This time, Solo has been dealt with. Zine trying to relive his heroics, and Freeman will not let him get away with it. Molotov down and Glow. He gets toasted. Freeman is popping off. Zeta, a 1v5, and only arm with a USP. I don't believe in this one all too much, as good as Zeta has looked.
Freeman is unreal this game. 15 and 5.
Well, I almost love the dynamic, because it feels like Freeman and Kaze have like this little rivalry within the team as to like who's going to be the better guy in a map like that.
I will say, any NA teams watching should definitely keep their eyes open for these two English-speaking players.
There you go.
Just doing the advertising for them.
I think they're doing a pretty damn good job of advertising themselves, Hugo. You can try and take credit.
I'll take my agent's fee, please.
Yeah,
30%.
Extra, yeah, 30%, my word. You're really sticking it to them.
I love a bit of cash, Harry. And so do MVP, but they're going to be all out if they can't win this round. And that's when ViCi can just run away with this half, taking 11-4, 10-5. Zork down on Beacon and misses opening shot. That was a crucial shot that had to be hit from Solo. The Molotov will delay the bomb plant, and the nade landing behind it. It's actually too deep. That bomb plant can come in regardless. Solo not rebounding the molly off the wall is now left ViCi getting the plant down in a 5-on-5. No kits, no utility here for MVP, and still flashbangs and aggressive control for ViCi. They have a flank coming through the yard as well. That's Orman. He's going to be coming in clutch later in the round, but right now it's Zoking pushing through the smoke, and he'll find himself a quick kill. That draws the attention of MVP so much they can't even focus on getting this retake done, just having a player behind them. And even though they kill him, there's the second man in behind. Orman surprises. Great shots from MVP to actually get down to the 2-on-2, but surely they can't stick this bomb. Surely Kaze will not give it to them, and with a knife in hand, he's back on the AWP. He's going to go down with a bomb, but it won't make a difference. It's ViCi up to 9 rounds.
He's even able to survive and pluck the last man from the ranks of MVP. ViCi, they are looking stellar on this T side. Went a bit back and forth towards the start. There was a time where you thought MVP were going to have grinded back into this game. But since reaching that 4-5 scoreline where MVP was sat promisingly just 1 round behind ViCi, everything has come up in favor of the Chinese squad. Primarily.
Yeah. Majoritarily.
But then it's like that said, if you look pound for pound,
yeah.
this
Tons of frags.
Yeah, this is definitely not a Chinese team.
Oh, the shadow spotted. That's a bait from Zeta, and even peeks out wide and gets the kill. Massive work from MVP, but the issue is it is only pistols. So the second ViCi realize where they are, they start to deal with them quite quickly. Kaze. Oh, Zine is very good with his CZ. That's his 4th kill in T-Con with it.
Isn't he just? He really does love it. But ViCi love rounds even more. 10-4. This is already an insane T-side half, and the scariest part is, Hugo, as you pointed out in the matchup just yesterday, when we saw ViCi play this map, their CT side was where we gave them the bulk of their credit. They had such an insane ability to retake in rounds where they just had no business winning. They could just play passive in towards either bomb site, play very reactive Counter-Strike, which usually you see run into problems, right? If you're not getting information, if you're not being proactive in how you're approaching your CT side, that's normally where we see teams have problems. But for ViCi, that just wasn't the issue, and it meant that they could just hunker down and... Oh, Solo, he's able to leg 2. That is just devastating.
I think that's on purpose, right? Show your leg, get the shot off, guarantee the fact that you're not going to lose a player, you'll only take 80 damage, and then everyone rush ramp at the same time. That looked completely purpose from ViCi, which is a really big brain play.
Yeah, that's actually super smart.
Wow. Like, that just looked too...
No, I agree, right? Like, Freeman is someone who very rarely makes mistakes. He's not the kind of guy who's going to show his little tippy toes down ramp unless he wants to, but Zeta and Zeph desperately trying to claw back into this. Freeman 1v1, and Zeph gets caught switching. 11-4 are the scores on the doors at the end of this first half. ViCi looking to try and end this one in 2. What more can MVP do? Find out after the break. A stellar T-side half from ViCi as they have impressed today, certainly showing up when it matters most. MVP falling flat at such a critical juncture in the Asia Minor. Let's not forget, the loser of this best of 3 is gone.
Right now, it's looking like the Koreans, unless someone can pull this back. We've had a great game from Zeta, but a one-man army is not enough here for MVP. Kaze's not even been challenged too much into this map, and it's been Freeman really bringing the heat for ViCi. Fast A play, great entry from Zion, as now we're going to start to see things spiral in the favor of MVP. That bomb plant almost coming down, and it does just within the last second. Freeman going to be able to drop the player regardless, and now the retake really is on from ViCi, who already have a 4-on-4 engaged. Zeta playing that post plant up on the E-box, and he's dropped one. Now the smoke's on the bomb, and they might just grab the kit and stick it, but there's so many T's to spam the smoke. Off angle trying to be taken from Kaze, but here's the knife, and oh no! Oh, Omen and Freeman defend him! What?
What is that? I'm lost for words.
He was mid-knife fight, Harry. He was already stabbed. This game just keeps on giving. Look at the smiles on their faces. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd be smiling too.
Shot through the smoke. Oh, dear.
He physically got stabbed, just tanked it, stays on the defuse, and then gets bailed out. Oh boy, ViCi 12-4, they win themselves the pistol, and things are looking great here for the ViCi gaming side. They are feeling fantastic. They're looking to try and take this in a quick 2-0 fashion, and this buy from MVP, while it does give them 3 AKs to try and get the job done, and now the man advantage taken, a loss here, this could very well all be over, as the money would run dry for MVP. We need to see this aggressive force buy work out from them if they really want to stand any chance of grinding back into this series.
That being said, with the man advantage, this is the best situation they've had all half. Joke is that we're 2 rounds in, but ViCi either way is still armed with guns, and 3 AKs coming out through this pop dog push as well. Zeta up in T-Con with his. Ooh, he's spotted. Kaze's got to be careful, but that man is tagged very low. Zeta, big entry. Kaze hits another player down to 30 points of health, and no one's getting finished off here. Everyone is low. 4 players tagged for MVP, but still the kills flying through. And ViCi, well, they don't know it. This round is so damn winnable. They've just got to find a couple of bullets. Solo, the only man on full HP, will be getting aggressive through the smoke, but ViCi have already bailed. They've already given up in this round, Harry, and they never know. They will never know how close they came.
Just 172 points of health across everyone.
Nice.
On MVP. That wasn't even right, but it'll do. Solo at
171.
Yeah, I said the wrong number.
Nice try. Well, either way, it's a saved AUG for Freeman. He is 22-8 right now. He's having a ball. But MVP, they've started things off, Harry. They lose the pistol, which certainly looks dangerous, but win it with the 3 AKs. Obviously getting that buy-in because they got so many kills in the previous round in the pistol that they weren't able to close out.
Oh man, I want to see build up a bit more confidence. Solo. Back on Mirage, he was the driving force alongside Zeta for MVP in the rounds that they were able to pick up.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, Hadved. Totally fair. King able to find another, and the
MVP are falling apart right now. Thank God they won that. I mean, that would have been something else. But Zeta, he's been at least performing here for MVP, one of the few players that can actually do it, but the tag is there with the scout, the finishing shot from Kaze, and Solo, the man that you need to step up, Harry. Can he do it?
Well, a 1v4 will be required, so this would certainly be the time to find your footing once again. He's looking curious as to what this B-bomb site has in store, and Freeman watching the ramp. That's going to be the big issue. He's got the AUG, and Freeman, we know he loves this gun. He's also been performing lights out throughout this series. He's one of the 2 top performers back on Mirage for this team. Of course, Kaze finishing just above him, 29 and 26 kills respectively. Here on Trade, Freeman has looked right at home, 23-8. Another star-studded performance from him. I love that peek from Kaze there. They get the information where Zeta is, and they know if there's one man who could build back into this round, who could play off of his teammate and create some space for MVP, it's going to be Zeta with that AK. So Kaze just goes, I got the scout, I know where he is. Takes that fight, wins it. Ooh, ouch. Well, Glow and Zion, they are not going to be feeling too great after that one. Another nade. Oh!
Just can't catch a break.
Yeah, no.
Oh no, here we go. Yeah, no luck this time. ViCi It's only Glocks, at least. They're shutting it down pretty easily.
Yeah, but is Zine and Glow like wearing a bell or something? Like, it seems like ViCi always know where these, the bulk of MVP lie. Double nade down Ivy, just a fantastic read as to how MVP might have approached that round. And now the remaining players over here at this B-bomb site, they just can't seem to put a foot right, MVP. Feels like everything stacked against them. Freeman able to find both players. They attempt to try and drop into the bomb site. ViCi 14-5.
And this is it, Harry. This is the last chance for MVP here. If they want to keep this series going, it's one more buy round. Solo's already gone for a Mach 10, so maybe a faster B approach, but that's a weird buy considering he had more money, but I guess he wanted utility. And they will have full belt to them. Pretty much everything MVP want, including that AWP. ViCi, I don't know what's about to hit them. It's looking like a bit of a faster approach to this round. As I say that, though, smokes towards the A site. Not going to be pushing off the back of it here for MVP. Just trying to get utility out of ViCi nice and early. As I'm watching for the Ivy push, but he doesn't realize how far these guys are. The smoke is there. Spamming through it again. ViCi just trying to keep MVP contained, being very aggressive on the CT side. Something that actually was one of the reasons MVP even got 4 rounds on their first half, right? Those pushes in the backline from Solo, those Ivy flanks, those T-Con, takes. ViCi looking to one-up them at that. And even with this AWP close to main as well, Zine just got to be very careful.
Oh, he most certainly does. Kazi is not the man you want to tangle with, especially not while he can just hone in on an angle. This is something he's so strong at, is Kazi. You know, just because we've said it, now nothing's going to happen. Yes. But let's see, I like it. We're stuck in the standoff once again. We saw a big one of these yesterday. Someone's going to break at some point. Oh, flashes over. Kazi gonna maybe get given his chance here, and there we go. First man found it. Solo to hit the deck. The push going to come in towards the B-bomb site, though, and ViCi, they were very, very quick to rotate everybody into A. That means Zeph, he's already up and in their face. Orman gonna get dropped, and Zine flanking onto Zoking. The hunter becomes the hunted, and this round turn on its head. Advent falls, and it is just Kaze left standing. A 1v3 needed. This round flipped upside down.
And he's even been flanked from that A site as well. Look at Zine, he's right above the pop dog. Will not be going for it. So that gives Kaze the room to save down Ivy. He's going to get away with his AWP, actually playing closer within the site. Probably a better prediction because it's so common to see Ivy saves on B plant rounds, so this is a bit of an off one. And MVP are too split up to find him anyway, so Kaze does find his gun into the next round, and this is to be MVP at least getting 6. Winning a crucial T-rifle round, but you can see by the looks on their faces, not looking too happy. They know this is going to be a huge comeback required. And ViCi still have the money to shut it down right here, right now, and get that reset.
And I thought that's going to be looming in the back of your mind if you're MVP. Now, they were able to make the comeback, get so close back on Mirage. And they're the sort of games that are going to get into your head. Here on Train, we have to see that resilience. And here's Zeta, a man who is certainly resilient. He's opened things up in this round, glows in with another. Zeph just barreling through Ivy. And this A bomb site has fallen. ViCi already looking to be locked out of this round. Trying to deny the bomb plant. And Freeman! Oh, he might have just made something possible, but in the blink of an eye, they're able to trade him. Kaze, a 1v3. Bomb down, and Kaze on this rotation. Solo actually going to go creeping up. Might discover him. Kaze seems suspicious. The no-scope misses. An MVP, a 7th round. 3 players staying alive. Money now building up a little bit here for the T side. They are starting to get a bit of a buffer, meaning that they won't just be onto the force buy if they lose this. And critically, broken economy over on this CT side. Hugo, This is going to be how MVP rather get back into this game. You take control of the money, you take control of the rounds.
Batman, how much longer? That's the question, right?
You just call me Batman.
I said, but, and I messed up my word. But how much longer? Batman.
Well, let's see. I mean, maybe ViCi could be Robin MVP of a round. Who knows? We'll see. Zeph, the real bane of Zoking's existence. That's pretty much it. That's all there.
Oh, this A-side attack won't be a riddle. ViCi are going to know exactly what's about to hit them. Freeman's got the spot down from Ivy, and Advent's close in the connector smoke as well now. There's a player on it, so Zion will catch the push through, and ViCi are falling like flies. 2 players left up here on this CT side. Oh god, this is so awkward, but Zion is going to get away with it. Kaze moving back towards the spawn, and ViCi giving away 8, so slowly but surely, MVP getting in control, but it's just against this scoreline, when you're on the less favored side of your opponent's map pick, it's going to need a miracle to happen, Harry. We need something crazy for MVP, or someone to just fall off massively from ViCi. And as we saw last rifle round, Freeman, he's still playing well. He came down pot dog, got 2 kills, stopped the bomb. Definitely looked like he could have won that round, and he can carry that up. Just get 1 big rifle round, and ViCi are up to 15.
Well, one thing that I think, you know, while I agree with that, is that that's always going to be your problem, right? Is you just need 1 player to turn up. And if anyone can, it is Freeman with how he's been playing. You look at Kaze, and I mentioned, he got off to a slow start. He's never really picked the pace back up. Now, admittedly, haven't seen the AWP on him all too much on this CT side. In the rounds he's had it, he's looked good. He's got it back in hand now. But you can see this leaves him armorless. So aim punch going to play into this, which on some of these longer angles means he really can't afford to miss. He won't be given many second chances, will Kaze. And then, crucially, over on the side of MVP, Zeta's still playing well, but now we have Zion and Zeph stepping up alongside him. It was the unlikely duo of Solo and Zeta on Mirage, the 2 top-performing players for MVP. Now we kind of have the 3 usual suspects rising to the occasion, finding their footing. And this is the recipe for MVP to build back into this game.
Orman flashes himself there. That actually bounced off the train tracks, unfortunately. But luckily no one in T-Con to punish him. Zeph throwing the smoke down and Pop Dog trying to take control, because this looks to be a late round A execute for MVP, who right now, well, they don't have a lot of control. They got Ivy, at least at the bottom of it. They've taken Pop. They're back into T-Con, a position that's now been given up from ViCi, but this re-aggression could cost a kill. Oh, it's only a tag. Zeta still does damage, though, and Orman's going to have to run away. No nades left for ViCi. Gunfights need to be taken, and Orman, he's ripe for the picking. He might not be up for the job. Advent's getting forced out by the Molotov, and Zeph's going to be able to get that entry kill. So 25 seconds on the clock, and the kills start flying through for the CTs. This flank from Ivy is massive, as it takes down Zokin on the site and opens it up for a plant. A plant that needs to come through with a time so low, but Kaze, he's up close. He might be able to stop it. Miss no scope. His teammates wrapping on round. Glow's going to get caught blindsided, and now it's Zeta, the man of the hour for MVP. He can't find them both. ViCi have done it. 15 rounds here, and they've guaranteed overtime on their map pick at the very least.
And that is at the very, very least. I mean, things are looking good now for ViCi to close this series out in a 2-0 fashion, send MVP home, and at least guarantee themselves that 3rd place minor decider spot.
But even then, I mean, if these guys keep playing like they do, they might even come in top 2, Harry.
Yeah, I honestly think there's a good chance of that, right? ViCi, they have impressed us a lot thus far. I think that's fair to say. Throwing in some great little gimmicks in rounds to create opportunities where really they shouldn't have anything. You think back to Mirage, we saw a lot of new stuff. We saw that smoke get thrown from CT into the B bomb site that allows you to throw that fake in without having to dedicate as many players into the B bomb site. We saw the foot of Freeman down ramp over on the T side to purposefully bait out the AWP shot from connector. They've been doing some very interesting stuff, and ViCi now sitting 1 round away from potentially sending MVP home and locking in a game versus the loser of that Renegades versus Greyhounds matchup we have later on today. MVP. It's crunch time. We saw them start to build up a comeback over on Mirage. Now they're looking to try and do it here on Train, but Freeman, he's applied the brakes. He's thrown it all into question. The emergency stop has been pushed, and Freeman is the man to do it. He shuts down that attempted B play, one of the only rifles for ViCi in this round, already finding success. For MVP, the question now becomes, where do they want to go? These smokes holding them out from the A bomb site for now. The bomb's still on the back of Solo, and he waits outside of B. Orb of Kaze going to be in connector, and Orman holding close, takes his peek in. Flash rains over, the timing not in his favor. MVP really are just getting so unlucky with some of these timings there. You saw that Zeta falls back to try and set his teammate up for that push. They try and play off one another, and it just doesn't happen. Solo, wow, okay. Freeman is on a tear. 31 kills, by the way. And now only Zeta remains, a 1v4 required. He was able to 1v3 to keep them alive back on Mirage, but not here on Train. ViCi 16-8 as they take a convincing 2-0 victory versus MVP. The ViCi gang are here in full force. They will be playing versus the loser of that Greyhound Renegade matchup that we get to watch next. What a game that was.
That was an incredible, sensational game. I mean, and nice to not have to see the reliance on Kaze in that final map. Freeman had a great game. Zoking sitting right behind him as well. So, you know, the usual suspects plus more. And now we got a couple more suspects over on the desk with James.
I'm a suspect, clearly. Don't shoot. I'll tell you who wasn't shooting too much, though. Sadly, MVP going into it. Thank you very much, Hugo and Harry, as I'm joined by Pimp and Blair on the desk. And we look at this in a very kind of crazy situation again of MVP just not being able to get the ability to be able to really challenge them, right? You can see it again. Oh, we're ready. We've got some setups in here. We look like we know what we're about to do. But when it comes to the execution, you're going up against a wall, which is a defense of just machine gun turrets in the Chinese team.
Yeah, it was definitely not looking good here on Train. I feel they were getting outclassed. You know, you have Freeman dropping, what is it, 32 frags over 23 rounds. You know, that's pretty incredible. Pretty impressive.
Not bad.
We talked about in the pregame how we don't have that player from MVP coming in and have that carry potential. The one dude that stepped up was Zeta. I think they were down, you know, in the beginning. They didn't get off to a good start, and he was the guy winning 2 clutches in a row and actually gave MVP a chance of getting into this game. But apart from that, they had nothing to offer on Train. Their CT side was not good. They had no control. They were not proactive. They were not going aggressive. And when they were getting shut down every single time. So no matter what they did, I think Harry said it pretty well in the cast as well. It doesn't matter where they go. It doesn't matter what foot they take. It always seems to fall apart. And that was just a story for MVP in this matchup. Whereas if you're facing a guy like Freeman who's playing up to this level, Blair, what are you going to do?
I wouldn't know. I'd be terrified. He had over 140 ADR on that map, and he also had 96 ADR in the previous game. Combined total of almost 60 kills. It's like 3 or 4 frags short of the 60 bomb over 2 maps. That is an insane performance. Kaze stepped up in the first map. This time, he didn't have to do much, to be honest, right? And speaking about the CT side, MVP, like you mentioned, they're playing so very passively. They're playing way at the back, not really reacting. They got the economy destroyed multiple times. And even when they had a setup ready, even when they had the guns ready, what does Freeman do? Just drop out 2 headshots, pop, 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 and Zoking like a madman running into the smokes. It was just a sheer vulgar display of power. It was shock and awe. There's not much they could do, let's be honest.
Oh, there wasn't much they can do at all, but we are going to speak to a member from the ViCi Gaming team. We've got Kaze down there with Jason Kaplan.
Thank you very much, guys. And yes, Kaze, I just want to talk to you really quickly a little bit about yesterday, because we were watching the green room. You guys beat Renegades. You're up 1-0 in the series. Can you kind of talk to us really quickly about how that match did go for you yesterday?
Our Inferno and what's the third map? Train. Our T side wasn't good. Like our coordination, communication wasn't that on point. So yeah, that's why we lost that.
And then have you guys had time to like watch back that VOD, or have you guys been focused on that match at all to potentially go for a rematch if they lose to Greyhound later?
Yeah, we did review our demo, like find out our mistakes. So like today we fix our T sides and like make it loose a bit, like not so structured, like make it unpredictable like that.
And then for tomorrow, since you guys have been able to get through now to the last match of the group, would you rather play Renegades since you've already played them before, or would you rather play Greyhound to try to qualify into the major?
We would rather face Greyhound, I think.
Okay, well, at least he's concise. He's honest about it. That's it for us. Congratulations once again on your victory, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's head back to the desk, though, to break down the rest of that match, and, of course, the match coming up.
Thank you very much, Jason. And one thing you got to say there, right, is when these players from the Asian region give us their thoughts and their understanding in English, they are trying to dig deep as much as possible. But it's nice to finally get to hear some of these players. And Kaze, alongside Freeman, they were some heavy hitters from today's games.
Yeah, some heavy hitters. And those two they're going to need tomorrow if they want to make it all the way to the major. We don't know yet whether it's going to be Greyhound or Renegades, but neither of those two teams can be too confident going up against ViCi Gaming if they're playing up to this level, Blur. We saw it yesterday, ViCi Gaming. They were able to take a map from Renegades, then they fell a little bit flat. They didn't have the depth in the map pool, didn't really have the stamina, so to speak, to go all the way. But if they're playing up to this level as they did today, I would be worried both if I were Renegades or Greyhound. Yeah,
absolutely. And what worries me even further is what Kaze just said. He's like, we reviewed our demos and we mixed it up to make it a little bit more loser so that we're even more unpredictable. Look, if you're gonna, if they play any more loser than this, man, like I don't even know if we're gonna be watching Counter-Strike. It's gonna be Chaos Theory in action.
Oh yes.
It will make no sense. But I completely agree with you. You know, when it comes to situation where you're facing off against a more solid team like a Renegades or a Greyhound, right? This complete chaos factor in Freeman and Kaze just going off just could work out. I don't know.
Hey guys, I remember saying to Pimp about the whole thing if they play any loose, and he was like, I hope not. Well, they seem to want to try it that way. It seems to be the way that ViCi Gaming like to play. Now we're going to a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to have an Australian rivalry. It's Greyhound's time to see if they can challenge Renegades once again. We'll be seeing how that one will be going down soon.